Hi YouTubers, so today we're talking about turning the base of the pot or the foot of the pot. Most pots will need some work on the foot before they're finished. So this stage is called turning or trimming and is done by placing the pot upside down on the wheel when it's leather hard and cutting away the excess clay at the foot. So you'll need to provide a good steady anchorage for this, and you'll see I've actually I've put a lot of clay around the rim to hold it steady while I do the turning. You could use a chuck, but these moon jars aren't so big, so I managed to do it this way on this occasion. To start with, when the pot's dry enough to handle without suffering some damage, you can cut it from the wheel bat, the bat that you threw it on, and place it rim down on a clean board. This will help. So that will help with the drying process. So when the base is leather hard, it's sort of a soft leather hard texture, you can place it upside down on the wheel, centering it. Use either the rings of the wheel or by eye, or as I've done here, I've placed it on a bat, and I actually draw a pencil circle around and pop it in the middle there. So when it's correctly positioned, you can hold the pot in place with one hand and press a few dots of clay around the rim to anchor it. As you see, I use quite a lot on this occasion, or some occasions. But don't place the clay on the pot. Try to just place it on the wheel head. So then you can commence turning the foot. And I'll give some more explanations later in other videos and later in this video about that. Earlier in the video, I mentioned another way of fixing the pot to the wheel would be using a chuck, and I will give examples in later videos in the future of using a chuck. So it's a turned shape of clay made on the wheel, and I normally bisque it in my kiln, and then you can put your pot into that shape, and a few dots of clay to hold it firmly so the pot rests on the chuck rather than the wheel. So this is particularly useful when the pot to be turned has a fine rim, which could be easily damaged. So the pot may become unstable when balanced upside down. So this is where a chuck will allow the pot to be held inside safely while it's being turned. Notably, the proportion of the foot is important for the overall shape. It should be considered in terms of the character of the piece. When you've decided on the width of the foot, you'll carve out the clay from the centre outwards as the wheel rotates. So that will leave a foot ring that's as thick as the sides of the pot. So don't be tempted to carve the clay right down the sides of the pot. If you do that, that would take away the freshness of the throwing. So it'd make the shape look more mechanical. I often do actually smooth it with a steel rib and to give it a nice smooth edge, but it can take away the freshness of the throwing. So that, I guess, is a subjective thing that you'll need to think about.